Copyright disclaimer. This was the dream that Annie had at the early hours of 9:12. There was a lady introduced to me, surrounding people, requested me to palal with her for she has shedim. When Annie was about to do it, the external forces had stopped her from cooperating. It was uploaded in my ruach that it's the shedim that are agreeing with the external forces stopping her from being with me in the tefillah. Then Annie was urged by the Ruach HaKadosh to tell her that fasting will help in casting those shedim. Then Annie was risen up. The dream didn't linger much until later that Laila, when Annie watched a video regarding the shedim's connection with the parasites.
So yeah, I made a slideshow connecting parasites to demons. And I looked into this topic through a biblical lens and I found a bunch of very, very interesting things.
Because when you see them up close, and like the thumbnail I made here, they look like demons. They look like monsters. They look like what you would imagine a demon to look like if you were to actually see one in person, But they are microscopic, invisible to the human eye,
They did a great presentation regarding the topic, backed up with scientific scriptural passages. We'll put the link on the description section. What's most intriguing for me was the connection between the parasite Toxoplasma gondii with behavioral changes, especially the voluntary dying. This is backed up by NHS's Library of
Medicine.
This document was published on 2021. Of course, these things will be tested in rodents. This study was from 15 years ago, 2006, showing that the parasite can push the host or victim into being impulsive, aggressive, having mental illness, to traffic accidents. They say that this parasite is found in individuals with mood disorders, schizophrenia. This parasite is causing all of these.
Science suggests that toxoplasma can affect human personality, behavior, and even mental illness. Toxo-infected individuals are shown to be more likely to be involved in car accidents due to reckless driving. Toxo has been linked to an increased likelihood of suicide and neuroticism. Many studies show that people with schizophrenia are more likely to be affected by toxo.
More likely to be affected by this parasite, or is it the cause? What exactly is this parasite?
Toxoplasma gondii is a protozoan parasite, and as a parasite, its goal is to reproduce and affect more and more hosts. The only place in the entire world that Toxoplasma can find a mate and sexually reproduce is in the gut of a feline, like a tiger, a lion, or more commonly, a cat. Inside the cat's gut, the organism can recombine with other Toxoplasma genes, sexually reproduce, and create eggs called oocysts. When a cat is infected, it sheds these eggs into the environment through its feces.
Coincidence that oocyst looks like an eye.
The eggs are highly durable and can sit in the environment for months or even years. Since the parasite can only reproduce in the gut of a cat, its evolutionary challenge is how to get back inside a cat.
Getting back to the cat, there's somebody controlling it.
When you're infected with this parasite, usually from eating contaminated food, the parasite is put into your stomach, which is just the right ingredient, stomach acid, to break up the cyst wall and allow each of the little parasites inside to invade the intestinal wall. From there, they move into your bloodstream and try to infect the rest of your body cells.
Deliberately put into your stomach to mind control you.
Toxoplasma has figured out a way to rewire a mouse's brain to meet its ends. So how does this type of parasitic mind control relate to us human beings?
Skeptic.
Like for each of you to look to the person to your left. Now look to the person to your right. One of the three of you has a dormant brain parasite. You probably got it from eating your favorite rare steak Friday night, eating that tomato right off the vine, or changing Fluffy's litter box.
So, what is this parasite that 1/3 of the population has?
A third, 33%, then there's that I. Plus the Big Bang evolution lies. This seems to be deliberate, where the moms in Denmark experimented. How many tried voluntary dying? Or at least had the potential? 45,000. Is this the only thing that this MK Ultra parasite can do? The answer is a flat no. It increases masochism in submissiveness, increases the desire or activity in both males and females, making its host promiscuous. Is it only making the males masochistic or making them deviant, urging them to abuse? That was from 2017, this is from 2014. Because of the increase in aggression and impulsivity. This has been quote-unquote studied. Is that all? Violence is another effect or product of it. How does it happen?
Toxoplasma has the ability to rewire the brain and turn fear into desire. The parasite forms cysts, focusing most densely on the amygdala, the region of the brain linked to fear and anxiety. So rodents, whose instinctual behavior is to avoid the scent of cats, aka avoid being eaten, now become sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine. The rodents are then more likely to be eaten by a cat, allowing the parasite to enter the next phase of its life cycle.
This MK Ultra parasite sounds being controlled.
Speaking of the immune system, Toxoplasma has some pretty cool ways to both evade and manipulate it. As the parasite multiplies in our bodies, it sheds pieces of itself that our immune cells can recognize as not being from us. It then begins the beautiful process of mass-producing cells capable of taking care of Toxoplasma. However, for that 1/3 of us in here that's infected, Toxoplasma realized we were onto it, and it began tucking itself away in our muscles and in our brain.
Sentient sounds like the virus. How is it quote-unquote contracted? It says here that it's rarely by transfusion, but in another or later document, it says here that there's a higher risk. Can even be transmitted.
Studies have actually shown that Toxoplasma can survive and be potentially transmitted during sex, making it a sexually transmitted disease. That's now 4 ways you can get this pathogen: orally, blood, mother to baby, and sexually.
Could it be that they have put this through intravenous injection?
To take care of this infection before it ever got to the brain, we could decrease the worldwide burden quite rapidly. We could vaccinate livestock so we can prevent infection in our food sources. We could vaccinate women who want to become pregnant before they do to ameliorate their chances of miscarriage and birth defects associated with this pathogen. And we could, of course, vaccinate your household cat, Fluffy, to prevent infection in your home.
Are they present in the unclean food? Yes, they are in swine, sausages, processed pork, shellfish, mollusks, but even fish, honey, potable water, yet even vegetable. Let's presume that these are really shadim. Can we fight it with fasting and praying? Like what Yahushua uttered, but this kind doesn't go out except through fasting and palal. Matityahu 17 verse 21. Even the scientific side agrees that fasting can solve these mind-controlling, behavioral-altering parasite. In what they call autophagy, the process that breaks down, destroys all damaged abnormal proteins, other substances in the cytoplasm. We don't need those pills, potions, for Yahushua have already taught Lanu. To the esteem of Abinu Yahuwah, Shalom Shalom.